The new PPPC administration has inherited several issues that must be resolved as it relates to the allocation of house lots and ensuring the proper infrastructure is in place. This was revealed by a minister within the Ministry of Housing and Water, the Honorable Susan Rodriguez, during an interview with InfoHub.
Well, housing, as you know, generally, we committed to creating 50,000 house lots in our manifesto. We have some challenges here at the ministry where we saw there was mass distribution of house lots. So persons received letters saying that they were allocated house lots in certain areas. The difficulty we have is that those areas that persons were allocated, most of the areas have no infrastructure, or they lack even basic infrastructure. So the reality is that that lot or those lots do not exist as we speak here.
The Housing Ministry will now have to embark on massive infrastructural works to transform those plots of land into house lots.
And that's what's adding to the backlog in the system as well. So persons are under the impression that they have this house lot allocation, but in reality, they can't go and point out that lot because it doesn't exist. So we have to start basic infrastructure, road, water, electricity, and start to even create the access to those plots of land. They're just plots of land.
Like senior citizens, youths also can look forward to affordable services offered by the Housing and Water Ministry. Minister Rodriguez explained.
Young people are a priority for us. So we definitely want to promote home ownership among young professionals. And so we're currently trying to extract a list from those who have applied to give priority to the young persons, young professionals who can afford to acquire a loan. We want to enter into discussions with them and the banks and the commercial banks to ensure that they can access financing so that they can own their own homes, start a family and start a life.
Speaking specifically to water, the minister reminded that very shortly, government will reduce value-added tax from some of the services offered to citizens.
We made a few promises in our manifesto in relation to the housing and water sector. Now, as it relates to water specifically, we made certain commitments, like removing the VAT on water. That's one of the first things that will be addressed very shortly, as well as reinstating the subsidy to pensioners. We want to make sure that water rates remain affordable, so we're not going to encourage any increases or anything in that sector. Apart from that, there are certain things that we have to do internally to ensure the delivery of water, the distribution of water, such as reducing loss in the system and so on. So there are some technical things that we have to do as well at GWI.
Minister Rodriguez said her sector is currently focusing on areas which do not benefit from potable water.
You will see that I recently did a visit to Luston Ross, which is an area that was without water for more than a year, I believe, perhaps 2 years. So we're trying to go through the list and identify those places that are not served, those areas that are not served. Like I said before, we're trying to reduce loss in the system as well. And a lot of the transmission lines in Georgetown, because you specifically asked about Region 4, a lot of the transmission lines in the city is very old. The infrastructure is very old. That would require some major investment. We are committed to that, to restoring a lot of those transmission lines, but of course we're still waiting on the budget to pass, and so that may be more long-term, starting next year. But it is a priority for us because we have to make sure that every citizen has access to potable water.
For InfoHub, I am Kellon Rover.